Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. Well, what another amazing day for MTPredictor. We had an absolutely fantastic day earlier in the week, and now I want to look at yesterday, which was Thursday the 22nd of January. And we had an absolutely fantastic day. But before I get onto that, I just want to go back to the previous day just to remind you that all trading approaches, all systems will always have losses, so it's always important to talk about the losing trades as well as the good trades. So this is Wednesday, and as you can see we had very few trade setups on the ES. The only trade setup we had was a TS4 sell later on the day. That was on a black STF, and if I place the analysis on, you can see the market came down, would have taken you in. Did get to the 100% initial risk level, but you'd have probably not moved your stop to break even because there was no reason to, because the large degree trend looked to be down. Therefore you'd probably been stopped out with a -1R loss. And it's important to understand about losses and understand that losses always and will unfold on any trading system. The trick is keeping them small. That's why we use our correct position sizing. So this would have been a -1R loss. But let's see what happened the next day. Here's the next day. As you can see, market went up, came back down, went up, made a lovely ABC correction into a TS3 buy setup. STF was blue for your standard traders, therefore this was with the large degree trend. If we place our analysis on our blue buy bar, you can see the market actually, after a bit of a slow start, went up to our first target. But just look at the profit at our first target. Profit would have been approximately 9.4R. Now this is why I talked about a loss to start with. So the losing trade yesterday would have been -1R, and this profit here would have been +9R. That's the beauty of using correct position sizing and having an approach as we do with MTPredictor, where the profits are much larger than the losses. So what an absolutely fantastic trade there. I know some of you are going to ask about the large degree trend, so let's go up to the 15-minute chart. This would have been the previous pivot high, so you'd have gone right mouse click DP. So before yesterday opened, you'd have had this decision point on your chart. You can see the market came into it, declined down, went back up, but more importantly, around this area it had gone significantly through it. Therefore the large degree trend had been confirmed to be up. Let's see what this looks at on the 3-minute chart. There's your 15-minute DP support. I'll just take that across. You can see that caught the high just after the open. Market then declined, but more importantly, once it rallied back up above here, the large degree trend was then confirmed to be up as it breached this 15-minute DP resistance area. Therefore not only was the STF blue, but the large degree trend was up. Therefore this was a good trade to take. The next resistance area, well, it was in free land. It was just no other resistance areas here at all. So if you'd been really aggressive with your trade management, you could very well have said, well actually when I get to this area, I know the STF hasn't quite reached its strength band, but perhaps you want to either trail at the bar lows. If you'd done that, you'd have probably been stopped out up here somewhere and increased your profits to nearly 12R, or use the ATR stop and about 11R. Either way, it would have been a significantly profitable trade with at least 9R profit. The ES wasn't the only market to have a good day. If I look at the YM, exactly the same as well. Here's our 15-minute DP just for the large degree trend. As you can see, that caught the initial high beautifully. Market then declined down. But more importantly, once it came up to here, it had significantly breached this 15-minute DP. Therefore, the large degree trend was up. STF was blue, therefore you should be taking long trade setups. So this TS3 buy setup here was the perfect one to take. There was no reason to want to swap to a short trade here because the large degree trend was up. Therefore you'll be looking to go up into your first target there, and as you can see that would have been a straight 12R profit. So very nice indeed. Again, you could have perhaps decided to trail this a bit further, but interestingly, because I was watching this yesterday as this came in, the YM hit its target first before the ES. So what you could have done is, because the ES hadn't reached its target and the YM had at this particular point in time, that may have been a reason to maybe trail with the 1 bar stop. If you'd done that, you could have increased it up to 16R. Trailing with a 1 bar stop is easy if you're using our trade module in InterTrader. You just click on that bar button there, and each time a bar closes it adjusts the stop to 1 tick below the prior day's low if you're long. So using that strategy you would have actually been able to increase your profit significantly. 16-hour profit is well, quite fantastic. But even if you'd come out at the first target, a 12-hour profit there it is, 12-hour, can't quite get that with the mouse. Just place the analysis on again so it comes out correct. 12-hour profit would have been a fantastic day as well. If we look at the Russell, sorry, wrong contract on the Russell, let's do the March contract. There's the Russell index. Just as with the other markets, there's a lovely TS3 buy setup there at the same time. This particular one at its first target would be 7.7R, which is a very nice trade. The only one that wasn't quite so good was the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq had a TS3 buy setup here, but this was a little bit earlier, and as you can see that probably would have been stopped out for a -1 hour loss. Largely trend was still up, therefore you want to be looking at your buy setups. You wouldn't be considering the sell setup, but this is why you have your scanner running and you follow the 3-minute as well as the 5-minute, because the 5-minute would have then given you another trade setup here again on the long side. So you would have taken that, wiped out the -1 hour loss on the 3-minute chart from earlier, and put in at least 7-hour profit there as well. If I look at the 15-minute chart, here's our DP resistance off that prior pivot, and just with the other markets it had gone through that at the point of these buy setups. Largely trend would have been up. The only thing that was quite nice is, as you can see, that caught the high there early in the morning very nicely. The market then declined down, but where did it reverse? Well, we go back to the last swing. This is the last swing into the high, so you go back to this pivot here. Remember, these DPs are on the chart in advance, so you'd have had this support level here ready in advance, and as you can see that actually nailed the low of the day for you very nicely indeed. So between all the 4 USE minis we had some very nice automatic trade setups, and also some our DP levels were catching the pivots very nicely. For me, the star of the show was actually on the YM, and even just using the plain standard and automatic trade setups, you'd have come in with the TS3 buy setup up to the first target for 12-hour profit. Same with the advanced or more experienced users. Largely trend was breached and the market was therefore going up. What I also liked about this was all the 4 USE minis were all telling us exactly the same thing. In other words, the 15-minute DPs are breached, largely trend was up on all of them, and we had TS3 buy setups at the same time here on the different markets. It's always good when all the markets are telling you the same thing. In other words, the picture's the same on each of the markets, give you extra confidence. So whichever markets you were trading yesterday, you should have had another very good day with MTPredictor, and it's what I talked about in our training webinar. The trick to trading is actually having these big profits. It's not about having a high percentage of winners, it's about having trades where they're much larger than the initial risks. If you put in trades that are 7, 8, 9, 12 times greater than the initial risk, you now have another, say 10 losing trades on the trot, and you're still up. That's the beauty of having big trades. So this is the next step in the evolution of becoming a professional trader, is first and foremost to keep the losses small, in other words stop losing. The second thing is be able to have big profits, i.e. let your profits run. And this has been a great example of how the MTPredictor software program can identify trade setups that do have large profits like this and allow you to let your profits run, and as such become a more professional and successful trader. So a very good day for MTPredictor yesterday on the USE minis.